This is the one about expired mailing program, or you could call it direct response marketing.
If you're a real estate agent or broker, this show is for you. Onion Juice is both a podcast and a movement designed to wake up and redefine the real estate industry. Here's your host, Neil Mathwig, for another stimulating episode of The Onion Juice. Let's join the movement now.
Welcome, Juicers. Neil Mathwig here, Onion Juice Podcast. It's that time once again. On to episode number 6, and this one, I'm gonna kind of share all, right? I'm gonna put my marketing, my expired mailing program, my direct response marketing system out there for the world to see, kind of revealing the behind the curtain here, right? The magic that has helped me get so many expired listings in my market. And I'm just gonna share all. I'm gonna share all. Why not, right? So the things that the Onion Juice will make you do. Before I dive into this, if you wouldn't mind, head on over to iTunes. If you're driving, of course, don't do that. And I know that I've got a lot of listeners that listen to this on the road, so please be careful. Do not go to iTunes quite yet. But when you land, if you wouldn't mind heading over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the Onion Juice Podcast, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, you've got these two-step listing presentation process that I have been using for some years now, and I have packaged it up ready to go for you. So just head on over to Onion Juice Podcast and you can download the 12-minute video along with a little cheat sheet. So that's waiting for you, onionjuicepodcast.com. And then also after the show, make sure you head over to the Facebook page. Just search for Onion Juice Podcast. And that's where we're going to have the conversation. So if you wouldn't mind heading there and let me know what you thought of the show, and give me some input. Let's get a conversation going around each episode. That would just be awesome. And we can do that on Facebook. And also I am already doing a lot of periscoping. So just look for me on Periscope and we can have a conversation there as well. So, wow, this is going to be fun, right, kids? So yes, head on over to those and let's jam together. So when I started this expired mailing program, I first got into it because I hated calling. I was doing these phone calls and kind of Mike Ferry scripts, which I have nothing against, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. And I'm all about attracting people and I hate chasing people. And so I didn't like it. So I started mailing letters. And in the beginning, I was the only one mailing letters. So it really didn't even matter what I said. My letters were getting opened and I was getting engagements off of my letters, and it really didn't matter what my letters said. But then it got a little more complicated because then everybody else started mailing. So I needed to stand out. And, I started noticing that everybody was mailing the same thing. It was always, hire me. I'm great. I know why your house didn't sell. I'll help you. I'm awesome. You however you want to say it, right? They were saying the same thing. And so I knew that I needed to have a total different approach. And so I started sending letters that were saying the exact opposite. First I was saying, I'm sorry that your home didn't sell. And to be completely honest, I don't know why your house didn't sell. There's probably a few reasons why your house didn't sell. But I'm not going to be some superhero here and come in and tell you everything you want to hear. Instead, I want to educate and empower you. Going back to episode number 5, right, where we talk about the 3 E's. So I included a special report, and it was called 29 Essential Tips to Getting Your Home Sold Fast and for Top Dollars. I got it from Hobbs and Herder when I attended one of their events, and so I used a little bit of their program. I would include that in the letter, and then I would say, I'm sure that you're going to interview other agents, and in fact I encourage you to interview multiple agents. And when you do that, you should ask the right questions, because that's what's the most important thing about finding your next agent, is asking the right questions. So here's 11 questions that I recommend you asking to get the answers that you're looking for to help you determine who the right agent is for you. And you can download all of 11 questions and the cheat sheet to go with it by going to my website. And then I had a video when they got to my website, and you can still see this today. Just go to neilmathwig.com. Actually, if you want to go through the whole lead gen funnel, go right ahead. It's all set up, and you can download the report and everything. So I would direct people to my website, and I would say that there would be a video, and the video would say, again, thank you for checking this website out. I may or may not have the answer. I'm no superhero. Here's 11 questions that you can ask. You don't even have to interview me. It'd be really cool if you did, but you don't have to. And here's 11 questions that you can use to interview your next agent. And then they would fill in their name and their email address and get the information. So it worked really well, because I was educating and empowering people. I was capturing their name and email address, which I would then say, okay, I now know who is taking the next step, and then I would continue to market to them. So I would continue to send them, I had like a 5-letter or 5-email update, that our drip campaign that they would go down, and I would continue to market to them. But when they went to my website, not only did they go through this lead gen funnel, but they would also, they would get the 11 critical questions, but I designed my entire website for sellers only. So there's no buyer tips on there, and there's no IDX. It was strictly for sellers. So not only did they get the 11 critical questions that they need to ask when interviewing their next agent, but there was all of these home selling tips. And then I would position myself to start the relationship right then and there. And so, they would see one video. There was multiple videos on my website. There still is to this day. And I would write stories to explain different approaches to selling. And then they would read my bio. And in my bio, I was very vulnerable. And I told them that, I lost a lot of money in the recession, and I kind of woke up and I hit the reset button, as many of us did. I hit the reset button, and I learned a lot. And one of the things that I learned is that I need to stand for things, and one of the things that I stood for, and I stand quite proudly on my website, is that sellers are that open houses benefit agents only, that a lot of homes don't sell from open houses. And so I kind of took this stance, but you would stand out, and you would be different. And so this was like, this is direct response marketing at its finest. So the other beautiful thing about the direct response system is I can use other media to direct consumers to the lead gen funnel. So if it wasn't just letters, like right now, Facebook advertising is just awesome. So I could actually look up expired addresses, get their Facebook IDs, and direct market to these people on Facebook to have them come and download my special report. So I was even doing things on the radio station. I was running ads on radio saying, before you hire a realtor, you need these 11 critical questions. So I was directing people to my website, not only from the letters, but from radio. And if I was doing it today, I would be using Facebook. So if you want a copy of the letters, I'm not quite sure how to do this, just message me on Facebook. I want to be a little careful, but I don't want to just be a free-for-all for the letters, because I've got a lot of time and money into them. But just Facebook message me if you're interested in the letters, and we'll talk about it. So, again, my mindset behind the letters was to speak to their pain, and to, not come out and say how great I am, but, kind of kind of shock them with a different approach, and I wanted to encourage them to, to interview the multiple agents, and I wanted to encourage them to have these 11 questions, because I know if they were going to interview me, I was going to come with my own questions. I was going to do my 2-step listing process, and I was going to win every time, because I just stand out. When I use the 2-step listing process, I stand out from the competition. Plus, I'm giving them questions to ask other realtors, and it works so well. So I encouraged again, like I encouraged them to do the multiple interviews, which then just kind of raises the bar for me. It says, wow, this guy not only is providing me with a bunch of information and the questions to ask, but he's also telling me to interview other people. Like, nobody else is doing that. And I stood out as the expert. So think about how many people are mailing them, and just think about how much you need to stand out. Like, I mean, I've had, a friend of mine took his house off the market for a season. He wasn't going to list with anybody else. He was all in. He just had something going on in his life, and he just needed to hit the pause button for a little bit. And so he took the house off the market. Well, his mailbox just flooded with letters, and he stacked them all up and gave them to me. And I just couldn't believe what people are mailing him, and people tooting their horn and thinking that they're all great. And no wonder people don't get a lot of responses with their mail. And the other thing is they have no direct response set up. Once you mail somebody, you've got to get them you've got to give them something to go get. You can't just expect that they're just going to pick up the phone and call you. And if they do, that's just 1 out of 100. Like, you've got to give them something that they could use. You've got to educate and empower them. And if you do, they'll come back to you. So, the direct response is just key, and you've got to have a good lead gen funnel. Again, you can go check mine out. Just go to neilmathwig.com. That's my real estate website. And yeah, even go through the funnel, like I said. So that's how I did it. And direct response marketing, I'm going to bring on some guests that are genius when it comes to direct response marketing. But I just wanted to start, in this episode, start kind of laying the groundwork a little bit. And in some upcoming episodes, I'll bring on some guests. So I hope that helps you. If you've got any questions, you can always message me, join the conversation on Facebook, join me on Periscope, whatever I can do to help you, I'm here. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. And if you wouldn't mind, head to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the Onion Juice podcast. That helps us out. And again, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that everybody has a great day. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. And the cool kids are subscribing to my YouTube channel. But maybe you'll want to listen to a little bit more content, and it would be great to have it on a podcast. So you should check out the Onion Juice podcast. Or maybe you want to take this even a step further, and maybe you're looking for a real estate agent coach that will help you take your business to the next level. You should check out Roundbox down there in the corner. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today.